Hey guys, we're back here at Full Circle Meadow Lake Tribal Council Education Conference. We have our keynote address speaker here this morning, Celia Deshambeault of Cumberland House. Great presentation, Celia, talking a lot about setting up cultural education, different communities. I was just thinking, just listening to you, talking about cultural practices and breaking down barriers. A lot of times, some of the school systems have their own system that's maybe an outdated curriculum. How do we approach that?
I think first and foremost is adopting a holistic framework, right? A policy or program that supports First Nations education in the sense that we're looking, for a change in the way that we're pushing the education system on First Nations kids. For example, nurturing the heart, mind, body, and spirit, ensuring that it's the whole child that we're looking at and not just what we're pumping, the knowledge that we're pumping into those kids.
Yeah. A lot of times, especially with our generation, growing up, like you started in your presentation, was the curriculum was outdated, and we're learning a lot of foreign things that doesn't relate to Indigenous people, especially here in Saskatchewan, but across Canada as a whole. So I think it's very important that we follow up on the many of the things that you were talking about. I was just saying, rebuilding a solid foundation moving forward.
Yes, I think our First Nation has really supported what we're doing by, declaring Cree as an official language in our school first to start off. And then looking at the connections that our chief had made was that we want more of the, the spiritual components coming back because he knows, like with history and with all the, things that we're uncovering, that it has happened, right? It happened in the past, and now we're looking at ways of bringing it back. Like, for example, the drumming. We've never had that in our school or in our community, and we're bringing that in. Like, now, of course, there'll be pushback from some parents that don't believe that. However, at the same time is that, looking at, the communication pieces and ensuring that they understand why we're doing what we're doing. And then really being, having that communication with our portfolio and him relaying all the things that we're doing, because we're seeing change, we're seeing good change, and that I think that's probably one of the best indicators that something is doing or going well with what we're doing in the school.
You betcha. I think a lot of times too right now we're seeing a lot of the land-based teachings. How is that working for our communities?
I think it's changed the dynamics because that is a foundation. Those are one of the foundational teachings that we need to pass on, is that these are the practices that happened with our people for years and years and years. And, part of that is that really building that understanding, especially with that holistic framework, is that when you look at, the knowledge pieces, bringing those pieces back, because you have to remember in the past, our ancestors got through a lot of difficult situations where they had to think critically, and bringing back those critical thinking skills, and especially those hands-on type of learning that they had to do. And I think that's changed a lot of the pieces of how we're delivering education.
You betcha. Well, I really appreciated your presentation, and thank you for the good work, and thank you for doing the interview.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.